Hey everyone, welcome to the audiblesportscast. My name's Jeffrey.
My name's Cody, and on this channel we talk about football and other hot sports stories.
Alright. With us again, we have Brett. It's been a while, but he's back with us.
Yep, thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, anytime. But Sunday's come and gone. We finally have some games to talk about. And I don't know about you, but I thought it was a pretty good week 1 Sunday of games.
It was weird. It was a weird day.
I concur with that. The first couple games I was watching,
Green Bay getting blown out. Aaron Rodgers looking like a mediocre QB. Colts O-line is supposed to be a top O-line, looking like a bunch of rookies.
Oh yeah,
it's just weird.
There was some very weird things happening. There were some ugly games.
Well, Bengals are 1-0.
Yep.
Yes, they are.
We probably all would have predicted them to lose that game.
Yeah, you got Jeff here thinking they're Super Bowl contenders.
I never said Super Bowl.
The Bengals?
No, Vikings.
Oh, no.
I just think
he thinks they're high.
I don't think they're the best team in the division. Even after
yesterday.
I think Green Bay is still a team to beat, and I don't even like Green Bay.
I think, yeah.
But
I definitely have the Bears higher than the Vikings, even after the Rams game.
I mean,
well, why don't we start with that game then? Just go right into it.
Let's start with the Bears-Rams game. That defense is a shell of what it used to be.
Which one, the Bears or
the Bears? This is kind of what happens when you let all your corners walk, or you cut them, or.
No, that's what you get when you focus on your defense for so long and put all your money into defense until you don't have money to support your defense and you lose your defense. And now they're trying to focus on offense when you don't have a defense. That's their problem. They're horrible at managing a team.
Yeah, they could have freed up some money by cutting Trevathan if he wouldn't have gotten hurt. Things like cutting Jimmy Graham, but I mean, they spent money in offense. Yeah, I can't say Goodwin or Byard are like the receivers I would have went for, but I see what they're trying to do.
Yeah, but they're just one of those teams that just cannot look at both sides of the ball. They focus on one and then they roll with one.
Well, I mean, obviously I was impressed with Montgomery. You guys were high on him, I wasn't. And he shocked me. He looked faster. To me, Matt Stafford was the same old Matt Stafford. We just sucked in defense. Those couple blown coverages is where those big points came from. That's 14 points right there. And then you factor in all our turnovers. I don't know if we beat ourselves or they actually were the better. The only person who looked for a little bit like at the most dominant man in the field was Ramsey. But that was like I'll give him first half. After that, he wasn't.
Yeah. He wasn't the only one that shined, though. I mean, Aaron Donald was wrecking.
Yeah.
But early in the game, he made Jason Peters fall just on a shoulder shrug.
Yeah, but somebody else was there to help after. Because he didn't get sacked that much.
No, but there was pressure in Andy Dalton's face all day. That's why when you look at kind of those a lot of those routes, Andy Dalton only had one pass or one throw over 15 yards of air yards.
I mean, I'll give Andy Dalton credit. I think I'd give him a 7 out of 10 because some of those interceptions were not his fault. I'm gonna rate him a 7 out of 10 for that performance.
I think he did pretty well. He was managing the game. And I feel like he did good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They rolled Montgomery that game a lot.
I feel like there was times though where like they just kind of, I don't know if it was a snap count type of situation, just keeping them fresh, but they rolled with Williams a lot more than I expected them to.
And when is he gonna get cut?
Well, with he's gonna be with us probably all year.
Expected him to get a decent amount of carries.
Oh yeah,
taking the load off of Montgomery.
Did you expect him to do better than what he did, though? He pretty much did nothing.
No.
Yeah, I mean, Williams, 6 carries, 12 yards. Yeah, I think.
Can we talk about Matt Stafford?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's same old Matt Stafford. What's there to talk about? Different team.
Coming into it, very good. He's very good. He is the difference maker for that team. He can carry them a long ways. They're serious Super Bowl contenders.
Oh yeah, definitely. They didn't show it a lot last in the game, but Darrell Henderson. Late in the game, you saw Darrell Henderson kind of seal the game for him, but
Yep.
add that run game in with Matt Stafford who can make any throw.
Yeah, but take those
I'm not
two
impressed with him.
big touchdowns out of it, and you're telling me that was an impressive offense? I would disagree. Against an all young DB except for Gibson defense, but that's debatable. So not a big deal.
I mean, it's still week 1. I mean,
I saw the rust on a lot of teams, not just the Bears.
Definitely. You see these teams that their starters didn't play a lot or any preseason, and you kind of see the rust.
Well, you look at the Cowboys and Tampa Bay. The Cowboys defense played pretty good for their standard against Tampa Bay's offense, which is supposed to be the number 1.
It just, yeah. I think Dallas, for them, in a way, it's a win because they needed that to get the season going.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
think. Even though they lost, they still were in the game. So.
Yeah, definitely a game that a lot of people pretty much thought it was going to be a blowout.
Yeah, but the Bucs started slow last year too. Remember, they lost to the Bears.
True.
I didn't think it was going to be a blowout. Did you?
I thought it wasn't going to be as close as it was, at least.
Based on
I thought it was.
On them losing so much in the secondary, I wasn't sure what they were going to look like.
Dak is a game changer. That man, he's last year he's running for MVP. I think he could make it this year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think with Dallas's weapons, it covers up some of his things because I don't consider him a top 5 QB by any standards, but I think he's young, so the ceiling's still there. I don't know.
Yeah. Not to mention they didn't play that game with their arguably best player either. Zach Martin being out, and that helped that interior kind of get a lot of pressure, especially there at the early or the end of the game where Vita Vea had that forced holding.
That offensive line for passing did pretty well.
Oh yeah,
against the Bucs. Running, not so good.
It seemed like that was their plan, the Cowboys' plan, to really not to attack the run game at all and to just, try to pass it for 60 attempts.
You got Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, Russell Wilson looked amazing against the Colts.
Well, the problem is Russell Wilson plays like this for 5-6 weeks, and then he goes off the cliff.
Let's be honest.
So they're already talking about him being
pretty well.
They did.
Yeah.
The Colts were just a complete mess. A lot of it was coaching. I'm not very high on Frank Reich. I think his play calling is horrible. Carson Wentz actually looked very good. It's just that O line did not help anyone
yeah.
that on the offense that day, and
Is Nelson playing or
secondary
is he
looked
out?
horrible. He played,
That's what I thought.
yeah.
Like,
He was really a non-factor.
and you would expect that.
Left,
You'd
yeah,
expect
left
that out.
tackle was a big hole.
Yeah. And hopefully, once shoot.
The Colts just completely whiffed. Like, they didn't address any of their line issues other than Eric Fisher
And
from
how much of an
Kansas
upgrade is
City.
that?
Not much.
Well, you also have to think he might not even play this year either.
No, he will. He's already been practicing and stuff. It's just the needs they needed this year, they did not address. First two picks they picked with, they got Petty, which he's actually pretty good, but they got that one, where is he from? Vanderbilt?
Yes.
I forget his name. Can't even play. He won't play until next year. That was a waste of a pick.
What,
I
is he
don't
sitting
know.
out?
Yeah, he has a torn
Oh,
ACL, I think, or no, he tore his Achilles or something like
I
at the
think
end of
so.
college.
Yeah, he
So
was a projected first round pick, but then tore his Achilles, and that pretty
yeah,
much.
it's a mess.
Yeah.
The Seahawks surprised me. I thought they were going to be a mess, but they're not right now.
give it time.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, here's a question. Switching to another game, I'm just going to bring one up. Are the Saints for real with James Winston or no?
I think they're for real.
I that team, I think, has enough pieces, even without really a true number one wide receiver right now. That team's legit.
Well, here's a question. If Drew Brees starts, do they lose that game or do they still win?
They
Drew Brees
lose.
from last year.
Does that
They
account
do.
for?
From the last 2 or 3 years.
They lose.
I think so too. He forces interceptions. When Jameis, if you noticed, he showed some discipline tossing out of bounds a few times.
Well, did you see Drew Brees was like, yeah, I think that was the missing piece the Saints needed.
Well, because his
Yeah.
arm was kind of dead for the last couple of years,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
he's old. He aged really fast.
Yep, like Peyton.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I give Jameis, he looked pretty good. Given that they didn't have Thomas playing, and he's used to playing with a little bit more talent than that. But the Packers also they can't seem to have a defense to save their life, even if they spend money. So,
Yeah, and then you got Aaron Rodgers pulling a Paul Crew.
yeah,
Throwing the
I
game.
saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think his playing of being some not so good playing was intentional?
Yep. He doesn't do that. That's not him.
It happens occasionally, I think. I don't think he would do that because that would scuff his ability to sign with another team if he were to be caught.
Any other team
I don't
would
think
be,
he cares anymore.
Yeah,
No,
and
he doesn't care up there. He just is stuck there for one
That's
more year
why.
and then he's ghost.
That's why I think it's intentional. He was literally smiling on the sideline. He wasn't pissed at all.
I know, but you
Not
could
that
look
I
at some of
saw.
those third string linemen, you know? And they were shaking hands at the end of the game, like just happy to be there, so it's hard to say.
oh yeah.
Well, he doesn't throw it that bad behind him like that. I know he hasn't played much, but
Adams, you mean?
Be interesting to see kind of how Aaron Rodgers plays next week. Against Detroit.
I don't know if it matters. I mean, they can beat Detroit, but their defense is pretty awful, in my opinion.
I mean, not if Jared
he,
Goff has some more comeback in him like he did this week, almost leading that comeback.
yeah, I don't count on that happening very much.
Especially, I don't see a lot of talent on that Lions roster either, so that kind of can't really. That's a tough go
Oh,
at it
yeah.
for anybody on the Lions.
especially with Jeff Okuda, who he's out for the season now.
Well, their supposed number one receiver is already hurt again.
Tyrell Williams?
What's his name? Yeah, he's already hurt.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he was out for this. He was out for the season last year.
So it sounds like if you have T.J. Hawkinson on your fantasy football team, you're gonna get a lot of targets.
I'm not sure how bad he's hurt, but I know he's listed as questionable. So, which a player like him is not a good sign.
No.
Because you breathe on him and he's out.
What was your guys' probably most surprising outcome of all the games?
Well, the Green Bay and Saints, like we talked earlier.
Yeah, I'd agree. That was the most shocking. I mean, at one point I kind of figured the Saints were going to win the way the momentum was going, but when you have Rodgers, he can do a little 6-minute show, score 2 touchdowns, but they were down way too much.
I'd say that, and then how well Mac Jones played.
Oh yeah, I feel like that was a really fun game to watch. It was a really tough. It was a hard-nosed, tough, game that you kind of expect to see from a, Patriots team.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought Patriots were gonna blow Miami out, even with Mac Jones. I just figured coaching in general and I don't know. You can go talent on the roster, but I don't know. Miami's usually super dysfunctional no matter what.
I mean, I figured it'd be somewhat
the
close.
Same. I thought the Pats were going to beat them by 2 at least.
In my opinion, the Dolphins haven't been good since Jason Taylor played there.
Yeah,
which is insane because they have the talent. They have the picks every year. It's just...
There's a bad management staff, I think. And they've been switched out, too, so...
we'll have to see. They still played all right, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that defense is pretty good. Both those teams, Miami and New England, but that NFC East is going to be fun to watch for a long time if, all 3 of those quarterbacks from Josh Allen to both the Alabama boys can...
Well, speaking of Josh Allen, what about that game?
I mean, I kind of talked about it a little bit last time, but that Steelers defense is really good.
Yep. I mean, it didn't help that the Bills had 4 straight penalties to start the game.
No. I mean, for a while there, it looked like they were going to, Steelers offense wasn't doing anything in that first half, and it's still going to be, not a high-scoring game, but Bills are going to, kind of easily take it.
What Roethlisberger have? Yeah, he only had like 134 yards or something like that.
Yeah, and I watched most of that game, and his passes were just bad. Anything over 15 yards were just bad.
Yeah.
He wasn't even making it 50 yards.
I don't know why they hang on to him.
I think it has to do with money.
Mason Rudolph, that's why.
Yeah. Ben Roethlisberger, 18 of 32 for 188 yards.
Yeah, I'm not saying Big Ben's an idiot, but behind him are a bunch of idiots.
He's thrown so many picks over his whole career. He's one of those quarterbacks you got to take some picks to get touchdowns with him.
But, I mean, no matter how that offense is playing, I feel like, that defense is going to give them so much help. I mean, against a really good Bills offense, that defense had 19 pressures on Josh Allen. That's crazy.
I credit Mike Tomlin.
D-line played good.
Oh, yeah. Mike Tomlin's honestly one of those. He's a really good head coach.
He can work with the worst team and still win.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you look at it though, he's had a lot of good offensive coordinators though over the years. That's what kept him balanced.
Yeah. He's really smart though too. I let him coach my team.
Oh yeah, he's an amazing coach.
I don't know how much longer he'll be around with them though. I think they need to redo their whole look on their roster. That means coach, everything. It's just not. It's just that's my opinion. But I think sometimes you just need a fresh face everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, but hey, if that defense can, maybe keep them in some. I know I keep talking about that defense, it's just so good, but
Do they compete in that division?
I I think
No,
they can compete a little bit in that division.
they can compete. I just don't. I think the Ravens will still be on top, even with all their injuries. Not on top of the division. The Browns will win the division, but I think Ravens will get the second spot, and then Steelers third. Hell, even Bengals are looking pretty good, and they might sneak up in there,
Yeah, that offense look.
even though their O line's bad.
No, but
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, he had all those weapons seem to come out and play. Jamar Chase learned how to catch a pass now, and he's good to go. He's looking like the first round wide receiver he was drafted to be.
You can see the laces now.
Oh yeah, he can see the laces.
Nice.
Yeah, he had a 50-yard receiving touchdown
Yeah,
there in the
yeah.
second
After
half.
T Higgins went out.
Uh,
Yeah, after T Higgins went in for an IV, which scared me because I have him on fantasy.
and that defense, they were making plays too. Like
That's a young team, I
Yeah,
think, in a lot of places.
I think here in another year or two they'll be competing.
Yeah,
Like heavily, big time. Get them a couple more
I mean-
linemen or something.
They might win 7, 8 games this year because look at this way. Minnesota played like junk, but the Steelers could play that way anytime. The Browns can do it. The Ravens, I would say now, could do it with no running game. I guess we'll find
I
out.
like Tyson Williams. I think he's gonna fill the role fine. Where'd he go to college? I can't think.
I'm not sure, but I mean, even if he doesn't, they went and picked up Latavius Murray, who
I think didn't they pick up Devontae Freeman, Latavius, and someone
Le'Veon
else?
Bell.
Yeah.
They picked
Yeah,
up. I mean,
Latavius-
they got.
I don't
Murray's
think
gonna
he's going
take
to be
that
the starter
spot.
much longer. I think one of the vets is going to get, even if he's not better, he's going to get picked.
Yeah, it's gonna be Murray.
And even if there's not like a true starter and they just go with the hot hand, they have a handful of running backs who just give them the ball a couple times and they'll be off to the races no matter what.
Yeah, we'll see.
But let's stick with the AFC North here for a second. How about that? How about that Chiefs Browns game?
The Browns disappoint me way too often.
Yeah,
They
you can
had
give them
that
all the
game.
talents in the world, but
Yeah, Baker threw it away that one play, and that's what sealed it. But the Browns, they're serious. They're coming for that championship.
I mean, yeah, even with them, kind of screwing it up there at the end, they still, performed really well and put up a lot of points, which,
yeah.
it's that can.
They're only better now.
Oh yeah.
And they almost beat the Chiefs last year in the championship, and
They have.
They're
I
gonna be
don't know.
good.
They're gonna keep drafting more talent. I think they have a good upper management team now that knows how to draft talent. Doesn't mean they know how to coach them. That's all.
well, didn't their coach get Coach of the Year last year?
Yes, Kevin Stefanski was the coach of the year last
Yeah.
year.
I think
Yeah,
he's a
but is
great
that based-
football mind.
But is that based off of his coaching or their loss?
I mean, look at what that
loss
offense
ratio,
did the year
you
before
know?
with their coaching. I mean, they're drawing up.
Baker
go ahead.
Mayfield has come a long way.
Oh yeah.
I now
There's no Johnny
like
Manziel.
him. I hated him. No, I now like him. I hated him when he first came in the league, but now I respect him. He's Odell needs to get out because Odell is just like a distraction to him. I feel like, and he plays as a franchise QB when he's doesn't feel pressure to throw to Odell.
Oh yeah, and they have lots of weapons. I mean, they have 2 reliable tight ends. 2 top 15 running backs, maybe even top 10.
Jarvis Landry, Peoples Jones. There's another receiver.
That rookie, I believe Schwartz, is his last name.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was.
And you got
making some
Odell,
plays.
who still has, once he plays,
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, if he gets comfortable around Odell, then game over, dude.
Oh yeah.
It's the Browns' time. They've been in the slums for far too long.
Oh yeah. That team is ready to win now, and just take the.
Shoot, in the future too.
Oh yeah.
But we shall see, because the Chiefs are still that team too. So it's gonna come down to those teams, 2 teams for the AFC.
They're a team that.
Go.
I mean, the Chiefs are a team that if they don't score 35 points a game, they're going to lose a lot of games because they don't rely on that defense, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah,
They're built not.
but I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think they'll have the problem with that though.
Oh yeah, that team can score 50.
They'll
every
get
game
those
if they
points.
really wanted to.
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah.
but yeah, that's probably the most exciting game that happened yesterday.
Oh yeah.
The Bears and Rams in the beginning, I was like, oh, this is a game, and then whoosh, out the window.
My thing is, you don't know, in my opinion, I don't know, if the Rams are for real because they played the Bears with Andy Dalton. I don't know. That's a tough one for me.
Yeah. Yeah. One game I thought was actually a pretty fun watch though was the Chargers football team.
Just call it Washington.
I just was reading it.
I know, I was playing.
But
Yeah, Fitzpatrick going down. Yeah, Mike Williams showing out on the Chargers, and Keenan Allen. They both had a
Keenan
bunch of
Allen
yards.
hasn't showed up in a while.
oh, yeah, and you know,
He had
you-
80, almost 90 yards, I think.
yeah, Keenan Allen had 9 catches for 100 yards. Mike Williams 8 catches
he
for
got up to
82 yards
100.
and a touchdown. Yeah, it was that offense. Just
That's a good defense.
Oh yeah, that yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
Washington football team has a really good defense. And someone I forgot that the Chargers drafted was Rashawn Slater, that rookie. And think about those guys he's going up against. And on 49 pass blocking snaps, he allowed 0 pressures.
Do we talk about Ryan Fitzpatrick at all? Getting laid out because of Charles Leno?
I mean.
Oh yeah, they figure he broke his hip or something like that.
And Leno got totally screwed. Like, it was a terrible block. He got burned. See? Told you Fitzmagic wouldn't make it very far this year.
I mean, he'll come back. We'll see how he plays, but
I paid Charles Leno off
Not
to do
if-
that.
Not if he broke his hip.
they're
yeah.
saying he could come. The report said that he, I believe, did.
Fracture. It's if maybe microfractures, but if he had a broken hip, that's a hip replacement, I believe. Potentially.
Last reports I saw that it wasn't a broken hip, but he'll be back in a little. It'll be a while.
Yeah, hip injuries are not fun.
And at that point, why start him?
I mean, Taylor Heineke, didn't look, just being thrown into it didn't look too bad.
I don't like him.
I mean, against a pretty good defense too.
I don't know.
Yeah, Washington hasn't had a quarterback for a long time. I don't count. Even Alex Smith wasn't anything there.
Mm-mm.
When he first got there, he was.
A little.
Yeah, after that
but-
injury, he was. It's hard to come back. I mean, they had to put muscle from his arm into his leg or something like that.
Something like that.
So one game I thought was going to be a lot closer than it was the Cardinals Titans game.
The disappointing Titans.
Oh yeah,
I-
mean,
Yeah.
There's a reason why I was high on the Cardinals, and this is why. That offense is lethal, and their defense is pretty good.
Oh yeah, Chandler
So,
Jones having 5 sacks. That's
they're
that's
gonna give,
crazy.
yeah, they're gonna give that division a run for their money.
Oh yeah, that division's full of
And I think it
playoff
falls on
potential
Kyler
teams.
Murray.
And he looked pretty
Him
good.
and Cliff together. The blame goes on them if they lose games. It might, probably.
Oh yeah, but
Kyler Murray, last few seasons or 2 seasons, has played really, really good in the first half, and then second half it's non-existent. So we'll have to see
seems
how he
like a trend
does.
in the
Yep.
NFC West.
Yep, Russell Wilson.
Yeah, we'll have to see how potentially maybe Jimmy G / Trey Lance and Matt Stafford perform too in the second half and the first half. But yeah, that division, that's a really good division, and any of those 4
Yeah.
teams could really make it in the playoffs.
The thing is, though, the Niners could be the odd team out this year. Like a 5-win team. I could see it.
So someone
They could.
I think maybe to keep an eye on.
Mostert's already hurt.
And because of that, I feel like watch out for Trey Sermon, a receiver or a running back from Ohio State they drafted, who he didn't play this week, but there's a lot of.
He was expected to get his carries anyways. So
Oh yeah,
if you got him in fantasy, you're in good position.
not to
Yeah.
mention years past with Shanahan there in San Francisco, they've no matter what running backs are playing with that offensive line, they're gonna show out.
Very true. But should we go into our next segment?
Yes. But speaking of the NFC West and Arizona Cardinals, we have this new segment we're gonna show to you guys. We're gonna add an NFL legend to every single NFL team that gives them the best chance to go to the Super Bowl. And there's 2 stipulations to this. They have to be retired, of course. You can't be putting Tom Brady back on the Patriots or anything like that. And we figured, might as well. They had to play for the team for 4 years, so just to add kind of to it. So we're gonna start out with the Arizona Cardinals for today's show. So, Brett, who do you think they could add to make them a Super Bowl contender, or more of one than they already are?
You had a prime Carlos Dansby to that mix. I think it helps a lot. To that defense.
Oh yeah.
Because who's their starting middle linebacker now?
I mean, Isaiah Simmons gets some time in there. They drafted.
Yeah, they move him in.
They drafted the linebacker from UCLA in the first round.
Yeah, I just they don't seem like they have the signal caller is in the secondary, not in the linebacking core. So
Yeah, that'd be a pretty interesting getting Carlos Dansby, the linebacker who played for them for a little while.
10 years, I think.
Yeah, he was pretty good. Cody, who do you have in mind?
Go ahead and say yours. I want to hear yours.
All right. Mine, they didn't do a lot to that offensive line. It could still use a little bit of work. I think, it looked all right, week 1. But I feel like if, you add a Hall of Famer and Dan Dierdorf to that offensive line, that'll help out a lot. You're getting a centerpiece that played for them a long time, Hall of Famer. He'll help immensely on that team and help boost up that offense.
I will go back to when they were in St. Louis.
Ooh.
And they had Larry Wilson at DB.
Oh yeah, that man. Yeah, he was pretty good. I thought about there's a couple DBs I thought about, but yeah, Larry Wilson, that would be pretty good pick.
So yeah, Buda Baker and Isaiah Simmons, they're the safeties, but Larry Wilson, he played corner and safeties, but he's more known for his safety time. So Isaiah Simmons, he's more of like he's a he could play linebacker too. He's one of those safeties. So Larry Wilson, he's a big legend. So putting him up in the safety, he's just that team.
Oh yeah.
That defense is just 50 times better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, but is that all we have?
That's all I got.
That's it on mine.
But, yep. Yeah. So if you guys ever want to come on, we welcome taking guests on here. Just shoot us a DM or comment on if you're watching on YouTube. Just comment and we'll see it and we'll acknowledge it. But
oh yeah, definitely. If you want to come debate us, ask us questions about football or any other type of sports, yeah, just let us know.
Call us stupid.
Oh yeah, do whatever you want. We'll defend ourselves.
Maybe.
Yeah, you can shoot us a DM on Instagram, Audible Sportscast, Twitter, Audible SC. We have a Facebook group, Audible Sportscast, or like they said, comment on YouTube. But
Like and subscribe, and then hit that bell notification icon, and you'll be set.
tell all your friends, family about us. They like sports. They want some fantasy stuff, some bets, some whatever they want. We'll give it to y'all. But on that note, have a good one, everybody.
Later.
See you later.